Hi, James Newell here, and in this video I'm talking about my approach to selling, my methodology, if you will. Now, unlike a lot of sales trainers, sales consultants, I take a slightly different approach to how I do things, and it was all born of my experience working in the corporate world as a key account manager and how I unpicked my success and was able to modularize that and move forward. So this video is about explaining how I approach selling. Now, I've pretty much broken selling down at the time of recording into about 350 or so individualized elements or modules which look a bit like this. Each one of these modules exists to demonstrate or explain a couple of things. First of all, it's rooted in behavior, behavioral science, communication, the fundamentals of how we actually mechanically exchange information and communicate with one another. You see, my belief is that selling is about good communication and finding a connection point. It's definitely not about techniques and trickeries or special handshakes or following people up 137,000 times or any of the kind of stuff that lots of people think you need to do to be successful. My methodology for selling is broken down into two distinct components. The first one is you need to have what I call a clear sales message. So you need to be able to clearly and articulately and commercially explain your offering, differentiate in the marketplace. Now, it might sound a bit flippant, you need to be able to explain what you offer to the marketplace, but it's astonishing how many businesses and how many salespeople, and it really doesn't matter the size of them, who can struggle with that. So your ability to explain to me and to communicate clearly to me what your offering actually is in terms I can actually understand is the very first step, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to selling successfully. The first maxim in my business is this: if they don't understand it, they can't buy it. So you'll meet people that physically do not understand what you actually offer, even though they could buy from you. They might be your next biggest client, but if somebody doesn't understand what you offer, they physically cannot buy it. So the first component is a clear sales message, and then secondly, you need what I call selling confidence. This is the behavioral side of things. You need to feel comfortable asking for the business, talking about money, following people up, handling objections, the behavioral side of selling in the moment, over a Zoom call, a telephone call, or an in-person presentation, having that confidence. Now, ironically, confidence, certainty, and expertise, which is one of the modules I talk about, these are the three things that your clients are actually looking to you for when they want to buy from you. By definition, you're an expert at what you do, or at least you should be. That's why you're in business. That's why you're in employment doing what you do. You're an expert. Secondly, you're certain you can get the end result because along the same kind of lines, you're certain you can get the result that you claim to be able to get from me. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But it's the confidence of delivery that changes everything. And for lots of people, from my experience at least, they leave their sales conversations to chance. They don't actually prepare for those tricky questions. Why are you so expensive? Why should I choose you? Can't we do this ourselves? We already use somebody else. Questions you know you're going to get asked in the conversation. Questions that you know probably going to knock your confidence a little bit. So if you go into a sales conversation, or any conversation really, but in this context, if you go into a sales conversation without that preparation and you get hit by one of those key questions, it can knock your confidence. And what happens is we experience emotional contagion. So the person you're talking to can feel that, oh, hold on a minute, James is all right until that point. Oh, kind of felt a bit unsure that he was reaching around for an answer. So if you say, why should I choose you, James? And I kind of look around as well, we're professional, we're reliable, we're affordable. And I start pulling out these things out of thin air, which are essentially standard features, and it's what most people kind of resort to. You'll feel a shift in my energy. I go from being really confident and comfortable talking about what I'm talking about to being not so confident and comfortable. And thanks to emotional contagion, you can feel that energy change in the conversation. You can feel that actually happen. And this is where we have that notion of, yeah, it sounded okay, just didn't feel right. And it can be enough to end the opportunity and end the conversation. So my overarching methodology for selling is clarity of message plus confidence of delivery equals conversion. So by taking a communication-centric approach to selling and a behavioral approach to selling and focusing on how we behave and how we communicate as people first and foremost, I find that I have a very different sales outcome personally and for my students. It's common for lots of people to fear, hate, or avoid selling. And when you reframe selling to what it actually is, it's a conversation with money at the end. That's basically what selling is. Once you can reframe somebody to understand that and really embody that, that's when things change. So clarity of message plus confidence of delivery equals conversion. And then for when you're in the heat of the moment or you're trying to achieve something specific, that's where my modular elements, those black and white slides, come into play, because they are curated and collated across my courses and my offering and my methodology to achieve certain results. Anything from increasing transaction spend to following up people who didn't buy from you, to how to present a new offering, how to simplify your offering, how to justify the price, quote unquote. Any kind of outcome you're looking to achieve in selling, I can give you a very modular and very actionable and easy to follow set of steps that you can use to achieve that outcome. Give you a quick example. Increasing per transaction spend. If you want to make more money from the people that you're dealing with, well, first and foremost, you've got to add more value to them. We're not just going to take more money from people. But if you want to add more value to people and increase the transaction spend, I've got 17 different ways that you can do that. Now, not all of the 17 ways are going to work for you, because I don't know if you have a product or a service or what your business or offering looks like, but a few of them, quite a few of them, will probably work for you. And the difference here is it gives you a structure to follow, a process to follow. And when you have a process to follow or a structure to follow, you feel more confident. One of the biggest issues with selling is confidence. And as we said before, confidence, certainty, and expertise. These are the elements that your buyers are looking to you for. And confidence is usually the one where people fall down. So that's my approach to selling. Clarity of message plus confidence of delivery equals conversion. And by breaking selling down into a series of modular components, we can create a very simple, very specific, very structured approach to achieve any sales outcome that you're looking to achieve.